Alright, class. Let's start the day with a prayer. Can someone please lead us the prayer? Yes, Mr. Figueroa? So, good morning, everyone. How are you all today? That's good. I hope you are all doing well. And let's have a great class today. And for your attendance, let me take your attendance. And please raise your hand and say present when I call your name. Mr. Figueroa? So we don't have a absent today. And we have the next. Before we begin, let's quickly review the classroom rules to make sure we have a smooth session today. We have the first one, raise your hand if you want to answer. Then the second, treat everyone with respect and proper manner. And the third, refrain from talking to seatmates during class discussion or someone is answering. So we can have a more focused discussion. I have prepared a game to kick things off. We'll play a fun activity called Spot the Conflict. We have here the instruction. Here's how we'll play the game. I'll divide you into two groups. Each group will get a picture and you need to find the difference between them. But here's the twist. You only have 5 incorrect guesses per level. So you need to be careful. The goal is to spot all the difference before the timer runs out. Ready? Okay. Here's the group 1 and the group 2. And I'll give you the pictures. And we also have the picture in the screen. Alright, let's see if you spot the difference. And the correct answers are as you can see, the first picture and the second, it doesn't have the bone in the second. So the answer is bone. The bone, and I forgot, and the first picture, it does have a 2 flowers, and the second, it doesn't have a 2 flower. The first, it just have a 1 flower. And the second conflict, as you can see, it doesn't have a leaves here. Not just like this. And the mushroom doesn't have a more mushroom. And let's proceed. And the third conflict, the chair, shuttlecock, and the smile of the girl. In the first picture, she smiles, and the second picture, I think she's sad. And let's proceed for our activity. A letter for myself. Here is our instructions. Now we're going to do a more reflective activity. Excuse me. You'll be writing a letter to yourself about a personal conflict you face in your life. But there's a twist. You need to resolve it through the perspective of literary character like Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. Or write the letter as a dialogue with your favorite literary character. Think about the conflict and how the character would respond. Be honest and be creative. After you finish writing, we'll share some of your reflections with the entire class. And we have here our rubrics. I'll give it to you as your for your grading. So you can have in the first one, reflection on conflict. Was there a deep, thoughtful reflection or vague one? And the resolution, did you offer a strong, clear resolution to the conflict? And creativity, was your letter original and creative? Clarity, was your letter well organized and easy to understand? And the grammar, was your writing free of mistakes? Okay, pass your papers to the front. Once you've done, I have some question to guide our discussion. What similarities did you notice between your personal conflict and the one faced by your literary character? Yes, Mr. Figueroa. Great connections. I just like the characters you mentioned. We all face moments where our personal desires clash with external pressures. It's good to reflect on how they handle it. And the second question, how can literature help us understand and resolve personal conflict? Yes, Mr. Mada. Exactly. Literature helps us see different perspectives and learn from how characters resolve their conflicts. It gives us ideas for handling our own challenges or conflicts. And based on the activity, what do you think our lesson will be? Yes, Mr. Fabricante? Yes, today we'll focus on conflict and literature, both external and internal, and how this conflict help us understand ourselves and the world around us. And for our learning objectives, be quiet, everyone. kindly please read our learning objective, Mr. Figueroa. Learning objectives. At the end of our lesson, you learners should be able to solve puzzles for vocabulary enrichment, explain personal thoughts, feelings, and emotions regarding a text, and the last, cite a true-to-life experience that exemplifies the possibility of turning challenges into opportunities. Okay, let's proceed to our lesson for today, which is the conflict in literature. Let's break down what conflict in literature means. There are two main categories of conflict, which is the internal conflict and external conflict. Internal conflict, which is character self. This happens when character starts with own thoughts, feelings, or decision. Think of Hamlet in Hamlet, where he is torn between revenge and moral questions. It's that internal debate that shape his action. And for the external conflict is when a character faces challenge from an outside force. This can take different forms, such as the character versus character. This is when two characters are in deep opposition, like Harry Potter versus Voldemort in Harry Potter. And the next is the character versus society. A character challenge societal rules or norms, like in the Hunger Games in the when Katniss defies the Capitol. And the character versus nature. In this case, the character is pitted against the elements or the natural world. And a great example is The Old Man and the Sea, where the protagonist battles against the sea and a giant fish. And another important aspect of conflict in literature is social conflict, which involves clashes between groups within society, like racial or ideological conflicts. To Kill a Mockingbird is a perfect example of how social conflict plays a major role in a story. These conflicts not only move but the plot, but also help us explore the deeper themes like human nature, morality, and justice. The next is the literature as a tool for resolution. Now we've covered the types of conflict. Let's talk about how literature helps us resolve these conflicts. Literature doesn't just present problems. It also offers solutions, showing how characters overcome challenges, grow, and learn. We have here the raise awareness about societal issues by highlighting conflicts such as social injustice or personal dilemmas. Literature makes us more aware of issues in the real world. And the next, encouraging empathy by allowing readers to see the world through the eyes of others, understanding their emotion, fears, and desire. When we read, we get to step into the shoes of different characters. This helps us understand their emotions, fears, and desires. Things we may not have considered before. And the next is the faster problem solving by presenting resolutions to conflict. We see how they solve their problems, giving us insight into how we might solve our own conflicts. And next is the challenging the status quo. Literature often questions societal norms and proposes new ways of thinking. It gives us the opportunity to reflect what's right and wrong in our world. Through these functions, literature becomes more than just a form of entertainment. It becomes a tool for understanding and resolving conflicts in our own lives. And I have prepared the Analects of Confucius. Um, and now, let's bring in a philosophical perspective um, in the Analects by Confucius. There's a lot of wisdom on handling both um, internal and external conflict. The internal conflict in Confucius talks about how a true gentleman can see a situation from all sides without bias. It teaches us that resolving internal conflicts means understanding our own biases and striving for balance. It's about self-awareness and being open to different perspectives, which can help us make more informed decisions in our own lives. For example, Confucius says a gentleman can see a question from all sides without bias. The small man is biased and can see a question only from one side, which means we should aim for self-improvement and avoid being narrow-minded when faced with difficult situation. And external conflict and societal expectation. Confucius also give advice about how to deal with external conflict, especially when it involves interacting with others who may not have the same values. He says, in the presence of a good man, think all the time how you may learn to equal him. In the presence of a bad man, turn your gaze within. This suggests that we should focus on our own growth when you face conflict and avoid letting negative influences will shape our actions. And Confucius emphasizes that to resolve conflict, whether internal or external, we must focus on self-cultivation, self-awareness, and moral integrity. This philosophy is not just for ancient time. It's a valuable approach for navigating challenges in our modern world. So to better understand the Analects by Confucius, I'm going to give you a copy of the Analects. Pass it backward. See. And last, to evaluate your learning, I'm going to ask you some questions. The master said, in old days, men studied for the sake of self-improvement. And nowadays, men study in order to impress other people. Does this line relate on how people trying to be all-knowing during this pandemic share your thoughts. Yes, Mr. Figueroa. Great observation. You are right that some people might focus more on showing off their knowledge rather than improving themselves. It's really important to remember that um, true learning should be for personal growth, not to impress the other people. And the next question, considering our situation nowadays, what can you possibly do to turn uh, the past pandemic challenges into opportunities? Yes, Mr. Mada. Yes, I love your idea of using this time to develop new skills. It's a great opportunity to focus on things we may have neglected before. Whether that's self-care, uh, learning a new hobby, or improving academically or physically. Um, Always keep thinking of ways you can grow um, from these challenges. And the third and last question, um, do you think humility or being humble would help in solving today's problems? Yes, Mr. Gordolan. Absolutely. Humility is such a powerful tool. When we are humble, we can learn from others and work together more effectively. It's all about being open to new ideas and recognizing that we all have something valuable to contribute. Very great insight, Mr. Gordolan. And for your last activity, bring out your ball pens for your assessment. I have prepared another short puzzle and multiple choice questions. I'm going to give you the what do you call this? Answer paper or task paper. Give one and pass. Okay, you have at least until 7:50 to answer that. Okay, time's up. It's already 7:50. Give your paper in the front. I mean, pass your paper in the front. And lastly, do you have questions or clarification before we proceed? None? Okay. I have prepared an assignment for you. I want you to share your experiences and challenges in your pandemic era, and how did you cope with those kind of experiences and challenges. Write your answer in one whole sheet of paper. I'm going to send the criteria for you to have a great answers. I'm going to send it to our group chat. Do you have questions or clarification before we end our class? None? I think that's all. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, and have a nice day.